Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those type of cars that you look at it and you say, okay, it looks like this brand that I know, but then you think to yourself, how did they ever came up with this model? It's not the type of car that you would probably expect it from them. Well, you can be probably right. You have, and you are making quite a lot of sense. And I'm going to give you more explanation on why. But let's get to the point. Let's see what I got for you right now. This is a 143 scale Volvo 360 GLE. Now, if you're familiar with the Volvo 300 series, you know if you have a bit of information, this was actually originally quite built between DAF, which was a Dutch brand that now they only cater to trucks, if I'm not mistaken. But back in the days, they also sold cars. If you remember the Volvo 66, that was a DAF also back. That was actually a DAF model when Volvo took over DAF or bought the majority of DAF, from my understanding, something like that. They took over their car industry. I mean, DAF only had a limited amount of models. They only had the 66, I think, only as a sedan, as a state, more like a extended hatchback. It looked more like it. Or they had also I think it's a coupe, a two-door version of the 66. But beyond that, there was not a lot. Now the Volvo 300 series was, it says here, after building a series of compact cars, DAF saw a partner to bring its larger model, intended to become the DAF 77, to the market in 1970. Several manufacturers were approached, including Audi, BMW, and Volvo. Due to the cost, Volvo was not initially interested, but later pursued by DAF access to Renault's engines. This helped Volvo expand its model lineup without the enormous expenses of developing a new model. Building cars in the Netherlands also helped the Swedish Volvo to access the markets of the European Community, of which Sweden was not yet a member, and this was because of not economically viable for Volvo to build a compact car sold at a lower price point in its Swedish plants with a higher cost of labor. Remember, back in the day, Sweden was not part of the European Community, says here, and I think labor in Sweden I think Sweden always was very well economically stable, and maybe was not labor liable for them to make a smaller car because you're not gonna get as much money out of. I mean, when you're making a smaller car, you're not. It's not like you're making a luxury car that you can sell a lot more expensive. So when they saw the opportunity to build them in the Netherlands, then they saw an access there to make a vehicle smaller to their lineup. And I think that was a great move. Unfortunately, the 360 or the 300 series altogether was never sold in North America, neither the 400 series. And I think we missed a nice looking compact Volvo. Now, getting to these models of, remember, the Volvo 300 series, they were in production between 1976 till 1991. Okay? They were assembled in the Netherlands. They were assembled also in Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, they were considered a compact car or a small family car. They came as a 3 or a 5 door hatchback, or like the one that we're looking at right now is a 4 door saloon. Okay, engines. Let's talk about engines. You had a 1.3, a 1.4, a 1.7, and a 2.0. All of these were gasoline or petrol, four-cylinder engines, and then you had a 1.6 diesel four-cylinder engine. Transmissions, it was a four-speed manual, and also there was a five-speed manual CVT option. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let it go around a little bit more time, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. Just if you stood and you were thinking about how did Volvo ended up almost gaining all full access of the DAF models, it says Volvo purchased one third of a share of the DAF by 1973, and then they increased to three-quarter stake by 1975. So by having the three-quarters of the company, you already have access to everything. Lately, literally, you're the major owner of the company. So at the end, you kind of control what DAF can sell or what so Volvo 66, they were still being built in the Netherlands. And you remember the old school little Volvo 66? They were still built in the Netherlands, but they were sold as Volvo after, I think, 1975? Or if I'm not wrong, if you can let me know in the comments when the Volvo 66 turned from DAF 66 to Volvo 66. But going back to this nice looking Volvo 360 GLE, I think it was a really nice looking compact sedan. Unfortunately, I only seen in person the hatchback. They were sold in South America, but I never seen the saloon, the sedan. They look good. I like the hatchback more. I'm not gonna lie. I think the hatchback has this personality that kind of attracts me more. This one looks good too. I'm not gonna lie. This one kind of reminds me a bit of a Lancia. I don't know why Lancia, like a Lancia Dedra, no, Telma or Dedra, one of those. Kind of gives me like a Lancia look. A lot. I'm not sure why. All right, everyone. Don't forget to comment below what you guys think about this nice Volvo from the 70s and 80s. This is more like the remodel look, so this is definitely an 80s because they got it refreshed throughout the years. But let me know what you guys think about it. Do you like it? Do you think Volvo did very well by taking over DAF? Do you think that was a big mistake for Volvo to take over models that didn't really fit their personality of what they were selling or what they were promoting as a company? I'm not sure. I'm going to give it to you guys as an answer for you to guys give me. Was this car reliable? Do you still see them on the roads? Did you like them? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this car. And don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. And you know what I'm going to ask you? If you can please give me that beautiful thumbs up. I truly appreciate. Take care of yourselves more than ever, as I always say. And goodbye.